At 9:02 a.m., an explosion ripped through downtown Oklahoma City. A truck packed with fertilizer-based explosives detonated outside the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, killing 168 people, including 19 children in a daycare center. The blast was heard miles away. It was the deadliest act of domestic terrorism in American history at the time. The scene was apocalyptic. First responders, citizens, and volunteers rushed toward the smoke, pulling survivors from the rubble with their bare hands. The building's facade was shredded open, exposing offices, daycare toys, and chaos. Rescue workers worked tirelessly, refusing to rest until every last person was found. America watched in horror. This wasn't an attack by a foreign enemy. It came from within. Flags hung half-mast, vigils were held, and grief spread across the country. The question on everyone's lips: who would do such a thing? The FBI launched the largest investigation in US history at the time. Within 90 minutes of the blast, a state trooper arrested a man driving a yellow Mercury without a license plate, Timothy McVeigh. At the time, no one realized this routine traffic stop had just caught the man behind the bombing. Inside his car, weapons, anti-government literature, and the same kind of materials used in the bomb. McVeigh wasn't a shadowy foreign operative. He was a US Army veteran, decorated for his service in the Gulf War. But after his return, he became disillusioned, angry at the federal government. Events like the Ruby Ridge standoff in 1992 and the Waco siege in 1993 radicalized him. He saw himself as a patriot, fighting tyranny. Alongside his accomplices, Terry Nichols and Michael Fortier, McVeigh spent months planning the attack. They mixed ammonium nitrate fertilizer with fuel oil, 1,200 pounds of it, inside a Ryder rental truck. The goal? To strike a symbol of federal power. At dawn on April 19th, McVeigh parked the truck outside the Murrah building and walked away. Minutes later, it exploded. Forensic teams scoured the blast site. Tiny fragments of the truck's axle led investigators to the rental company, which in turn led to McVeigh. His name, fingerprints, and connections to militia groups painted a clear picture of homegrown extremism. The FBI soon connected Nichols and Fortier, rounding out the network behind the atrocity. McVeigh's trial became one of the most closely watched in American history. He showed little remorse, portraying himself as a soldier, avenging government overreach. Survivors and families testified, their stories a chilling reminder of the human cost. In June 1997, McVeigh was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to death. McVeigh was executed by lethal injection on June 11, 2001. His last words, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." To the end, he believed he was right. But his actions left a scar that still defines domestic terrorism today. The attack reshaped federal building security, counterterrorism policies, and public perception of extremism. The Oklahoma City bombing stands as a warning. Extremism doesn't always come from outside. It can grow in the quiet corners of ideology, resentment, and fear. Out of tragedy came resilience, the survivors, the rescuers, and a community that refused to be broken. In the heart of Oklahoma City stands a memorial, 168 empty chairs, one for every life lost. A silent promise that their memory will never fade, and that hatred will never define the American spirit.